Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin Money, money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin Money, money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin Money, money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin Money, money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero yo Lunes.
Alright, here we go, boys. Letting it run one more time and we'll
Money
get to
work.
it.
El mundo quiere dinero.
Yeah, I know.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
SE Project branding logo that's on here.
Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar.
Really cool. And we're also gonna change the kickstand now, guys. Alright, let's take a quick look at the
Hopefully I'm all good, guys. I roll over something.
Solo un par de gente se llama el Putin.
What's good? Mike's in the building. Welcome to another Freestyle Sunday, guys. Very excited to actually have you guys on. Happy Ramadan. Happy Easter. All right? Happy Passover. I think it's all at the same time, which is kind of a rarity. And I totally didn't think about this the entire time, that it would be one of those Sundays where a lot is going on. So I'm appreciative of everyone that's tuned in tonight. But we have a great show. We have a really dope guest, guys, for you guys that are keeping an eye out on what we're doing on the channel. You know he's a NFL ball player, guys. Well, he played before, or whichever one you want to put at it. To me, if you're in a thing, you've always been in the thing. So that's how I look at it. We have Mike Griffin in the building, guys. Really, really dope guy. All right, he played for the Tennessee Titans. And that's not even the key thing about him, to be honest. The thing here that I want to highlight that's really dope, this guy is super down to earth, right? Family oriented, right? Does other things outside of just being an NFL player, right? Owns really dope how do you call it, cupcake business also. But overall, man, a very welcoming gentleman guy, also and a very endearing dad, all right, to some girls, all right. So that's really, really dope. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity to come out and have a talk with him about overall motorcycle life, because he does enjoy the same passion that we all do as well. So I think it's going to be a really dope conversation overall. And I was thinking about this all day today. I'm like, man, should I do some soft pitch questions? I mean, this guy is used to the limelight, so we're going to go right into it, dive in deep, and ask the hard stuff right then off the bat. But we'll do what we do best, guys. We're going to say what's up to everyone that's tuned in early into the stream as people roll in and stuff. So that's always really, really cool. So your opportunity to kind of chime in and say what's up, and then your name get to be highlighted. You guys know the deal. Usual that we do every Sunday, and always appreciate you guys. By the way, it was a very interesting Sunday. One of the team members from Motivation hooked me up with a guy out here in New York, and we kind of linked up today and chopped it up about motorcycles. We work on I almost said on which bike I worked on, but this is some really cool stuff for the season, and super, super, super cool. Hopefully down the line, we get to bring him on the stream as well. He's really deep into the track life, so we will see how that plays out, man. Let's say what's up to everybody real quick before we get to it. Let's see here. We have Sasong's in the building, the usual suspect. Good evening, Bike Fam. What's good, Mike and Anna? Welcome, sir. Glad you're tuning in tonight. Really appreciate you guys coming through. I know it's like a holiday this Sunday, so I appreciate everybody that comes through and come and chill with me. Governor D Nice is in the building. Can't wait for this one. If you guys are a big fan of NFL, which I'm sure everybody is, all right, you're going to enjoy this conversation as well. Let's see what we got here. Solo Riders in the building. What's good, everyone? Another great one. How do you know it's going to be great? Nothing has happened yet. Man, the wifey's also here. Always here to show love and support. We have Covert Mechas in the building. Really, really cool, man. So glad that you guys are tuning in. You're definitely going to enjoy the show. So not to keep this running for a very long time, let's bring on Mike and give him a warm welcome, guys. By the way, if you're tuned in, you have any questions, any kind of specific question you would like to ask, we are watching the chat. Feel free to kind of chime in. Welcome, Mike. Welcome to the stream, man, the podcast. Appreciate your time.
How you doing? Happy Easter, everybody.
Thank you for coming through, man. Really, really appreciate it, man. I thought this was going to be something that's going to be extremely difficult. You're a very busy guy, a lot going on.
Oh, man, had an eventful day today. Played golf, 7 o'clock this morning, then followed by church, tended my brother's house with some family, and now I'm back at home for this podcast. And then the kids they get a little loud. They're trying to get some homework and some things in order for tomorrow for school. So
nah, man,
it gets a little loud. I apologize in advance.
Nah, it's all good, man. And that's the thing that always struck a chord with me about you. We met last year through Motivation and walking through GP. One thing that was really, really dope, you know, like, I mean, let me put in perspective for you guys. This guy is, I can't say local, total celebrity, and I'm completely out of the mix, not even knowing. I'm roaming around with this dude like a normal guy. And people are just like stopping for photos and just like, I'm like, what the hell is going on, right? And the dope thing about the entirety of that day is really that it was never like a thing where like, well, I'm Mike, and that's why it's happening. It was just like total nonchalant, super chill. You took me around, actually showed me around the whole CODA course and everything else. And I thought it was really, really dope, man, overall. So
Didn't you get to ride one of my bikes one of the nights?
I was getting to that, man. I was getting to that.
Oh, my bad. I'm a Southern hospitality type guy. I'm just making sure.
He opened up his garage to me as well to ride his motorcycle. I'm telling you, this is like, and I explained this to people before. My experience visiting out Texas was amazing. The race was dope. Everything about the conversation was dope. The people was dope. And I felt like everyone is extremely welcoming with the Motivation guys, you overall. And it was so dope. Even the fact that with your cupcake business, you provided, like, I think, treats and stuff for the party that they have, which we are hosting. So if you guys are out in Texas, definitely come through and say what's up to everybody. All that stuff is extremely dope. Now, there's a reason why I'm talking about this. And I know this is, like, very, like, motorcycle-centric wise. it's just that how motorcycle kind of all ties all this all together. Because you're very like close with the motivation guys, right?
Very much so. I mean, Jacob, all those guys, Nate, Nick. I mean, it's weird. When I first got started with riding bikes, when I retired, it was I remember buying a Aprilia from Nate. I don't think it was actually his bike, but he was facilitating the sale. And from there, I kind of just stayed around. And then it was weird how I met Jacob and Nick one night. I was interested in buying a new 2020 BMW, and it was a MotoGP party. And Nick had one of the demo bikes, 2020 S1000 R's, and I was like, okay, I get to see it in person at a party. And I'm like sitting there talking to him, having a bunch of asking questions and things of that nature as he worked for BMW. But Jacob was there, and the battery died on the bike, and Jacob offered his battery to Nick, and they didn't even know each other. And I was like, okay, that's kind of dope. And then I went back to Motivation to pick up some parts and stuff for my bike, and I bought a Ducati. And it was weird because I was like, hold on, that's the guy that loaned his battery to this guy. And then I ran into Nick, and it's just like you said, the motorcycle thing just brought everybody together. And it was just crazy to just see how close we become after so many years. You know, me playing in NFL and having that locker room camaraderie, friendships, and things in that nature. I developed that type of relationship with those guys over there, and so I cherish that friendship very so dearly. We got into fantasy football this year. Now we're doing MotoGP fantasy. I'm currently I won one-on-one against Nate, who's the owner of Motivation, and now I'm actually winning the lead of our Motivation MotoGP. They didn't think I could do it, so as of week 2, I went from 7th place and now I'm in 1st place. So I told them as long as I stay in 1st place, I can continue to give them a pizza party every week. So I like to treat them as long as they keep allowing me to win and make me feel better than what I really am at this MotoGP fantasy, because I am really just picking by colors.
So you mentioned about your first bike. So when did you first got into were you playing professionally and riding, or it was right after that?
You know, when I was a kid, I used to ride dirt bikes and things all the time. My mom's side of the family's from outside of Waco, very country town. But then as I was playing, you know, I always wanted to get a bike, but I was never allowed to get a bike. And when I got done playing, I remember my strategy with my wife was I bought the kids ATVs. And then I was like, well, babe, I got to get one so I can ride with them. So that's when I started learning how to ride manual. I bought a Honda 450. And then from there, I magically snuck a Daytona 675 into the garage, and didn't last long because my mom was watching the dogs while we were out of town, and she's like, hey, Mike, where'd you get this where'd you get this bike from? And I'm like, I'm holding it for a friend. So I got that, started practicing, and then from there, I think I bought a BMW, 2016 BMW S1000 RR. Then I bought an Aprilia. Then I bought a Ducati. And I had these bikes, but then it was one of those things where my wife was getting upset with me about having all these bikes. But it was like, what are you doing with them? What are you doing? And I met some guys over at Moto Mummy, a guy by the name of Danny. He was like, you got to ride the track. You need to ride the track. It's more safer. And from that standpoint, I remember I bought a tracksuit. I had a tracksuit for literally about a year and some change. Never rode the track. I was just nervous about the track, just the speed and everything else. And finally got on the track. The day before the track, I remember this verbatimly. I was in Houston, and rest in peace, Cedric Benson played for the Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers. He got in a motorcycle accident and passed away. One of my former teammates playing at University of Texas. And I remember going to the track the very next day, and it was like I rode the track, and at that moment I felt the safest I've ever felt riding on the track compared to riding on the street. And so me and my wife made a deal that I could only ride the street. So from there, I've been just
You mean
stuck
the
on riding
track?
track.
You could
The
only ride
track, I mean,
track.
I'm sorry, don't only ride the track. So from that standpoint, I literally just been riding the track. You will very rarely ever see me on the street. I'm probably 100% track guy right now. So that's kind of how it all got started. Just that adrenaline rush of playing in the NFL and trying to seek that emotional high that I used to get walking in front of 100,000 fans. Um, I like to say it, living life on the edge. Um, and it's the same thing of being on a motorcycle. It's you and that motorcycle as one, and you're trying to push that bike to the limit, but at the same time, you're trying to accomplish something. And I think it's a very amazing type of thing. People think it's like something so easily, but to get on the track and go around those corners and brake and just being able to use your right hand, your left hand, your right foot, your left foot, and all those different things, and being able to be in tune. I mean, it's amazing, and it's just something that it gets back I say my competitiveness, and just being an athlete. I think that's what gets that emotional high, because I guarantee once I get off the track, it's like, all right, I got it, and I feel back to normal. But for the longest, I was searching that emotional high. Uh, going out, trying to see partying or doing different things, and literally I could not get that emotional high until I got on the track and just saw how fun it was, how much the stress and things that it put on the body, but it's like that good stress that you be able to allow that stress out. So it's been a blessing for me to be able to find something to allow me to gain that same emotional high that I was getting when I played the game of football for so long.
So one of the things that I was thinking about a lot of bringing it to the forefront of the conversation is the fact that you're playing the NFL and you're into motorcycles. How does that play out? Is there like a clause and stuff like that where you're not supposed to be able to ride like motorcycles? I know like for filmmakers and stuff like that, they fall under those categories.
It's so with NFL, you pretty much, when you sign a contract, it's pretty much that you belong to that team. If you, it's one of those things now, you're starting to see now that guys are training in the off season, trying to get ready for the upcoming season and getting ready for the upcoming team workouts. But some guys get injured, and you're trying to find ways to continue to stay in shape. And it's hard just to say, hey, I'm just going to do football all the time. Sometimes you say, I want to go play basketball, or I want to, whether it's basketball, track, even today, the big thing now is like pickleball and things of that nature. But easily as the normal person, you can go out there and move the wrong way. And, I got a friend right now that played football for a long time and rides on the track now. And he was playing basketball and tore his patella tendon. I know another young lady who ran track for a long time. And she did a workout and got on the treadmill to do a cool down and popped her Achilles. So those things like that, I mean, literally, when it comes to your contract and they're paying you a lot of money, they are like, you literally belong to that team. And it's like at all costs, you are supposed to do whatever it is to keep yourself safe. So you ain't supposed to ride jet skis. You ain't supposed to go skiing. I mean, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, slow pitch, softball, any miscellaneous thing that you feel, even just playing like a pickup game and you just playing around with kids and doing camps. If you get hurt, there's a strong possibility that team would find a clause in your contract that can keep from paying you. And so you can definitely lose your job just based off of doing something that's so simple. But your whole mindset is caught around the game of football because it's a business, and your body is pretty much like a multi-million-dollar business that you have to take care of all the time and keep yourself, your body first at all times. So, you got to monitor what you put in your body, monitor what you're doing, the stress, the sleep, whatever it may be. So the entire time of playing football for 10 years, it was about, my life was totally dedicated to football. So
you didn't ride it in that time frame.
Oh, man, I never even touched the bike. I never touched the bike. You would never see me playing basketball. You'd never see me doing anything. It was literally go to the gym, work out.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Sorry, that my Siri
It's
just
all good.
totally triggered.
But yeah, I mean, literally, for 10 years, I promise you, my life was like caught in this little bubble. Like I was a bubble that was like, when they be like, hey, if you make X amount of money, you're in this percentage of the world or whatever, or
Mhm.
the U.S. Like I was in that bubble of the people I spoke to, the people I hung out with, the people I talked to. My life was evolved around football and who was in that circle, who was in that bubble. That was my entire life. It's even weird, not weird, but funny now. Like I tell people all the time, like even some of my good friends that I met with throughout my kids and stuff, I was like, dude, when I was playing football, we probably never would even spoke because my life was so focused. Like it was almost like a cult. Like I was literally so focused into just playing football. Like my life was football. I mean,
So,
I woke up 5 o'clock in the morning, football, 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 all the way till 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then do it all over again.
and I'm assuming you apply the same principles to you riding now, because when you focus into something, you zero in on it. Because I know you have multiple bikes and stuff. I know you got the Street Fighter V4 SP2. Is that yours? Or no, it's the SP,
I got
right?
SP. Yeah, I
Oh
got
my
Street
god,
Fighter
that thing is
SP. Yeah.
nasty, man. Oh my god, dude.
And then they decided to get an SP2 right after, so it was like, yeah, no.
You got an SP2 as well?
No, no, no. I'm just saying, once you get something, you come out with something else, so you can't never keep up with it. So I
I'm
just
about to
got to
say,
the
I'm
point that
calling your wife right now. So
you can't call right now. I keep trying to sneak things in. I sold that Hyper RVE, the one that you rode. I sold that. I sold my S1000. Now I got the 50th anniversary M1000 RR, and then I ordered waiting on my Ducati V4R
oh my
23
god, dude, that thing is so crazy.
and I'm waiting on my 23 M1000 RR2 competition. So I ordered those, and those should be here hopefully in the next month or two.
Let me get a little flex in there too, because I ordered something that's gonna be back when I come back from work. It's nothing to the level of what you. I'm just messing, dude. And that's the best thing, guys. The thing that's really cool about Mike is just that this dude is so laid back, so chill. It's nothing like the way it's perceived. To be honest, when I was in Texas and we hung out together, you were more of a normal guy to me personally, and to everyone else. Like you were just like chatting up with like people that is walking by, even though they're pulling you. I mean, they treat you like a celebrity. Well, treat is. But you were more normal with everybody else, just kind of like chilling and stuff. And I think it's really dope. Even the motivation guys were just like, man, he's just like super laid back, man. We have like his favorite snacks in the kitchen and stuff because he's always here hanging out kind of thing. And the thing that's really dope about it, and I think motorcycles is so interesting, that to the point that everyone is just like, how you spoke about Jacob and stuff like that, and the rest of the team, how you gave the battery and stuff like that. And when I came on the podcast, when I came back from Texas, and I was telling them, I was like, the best way to explain motivation, and this is, you know what, shamelessly plug, guys, if you're going to shop, Motivation is the only place. You guys know the deal. I always promote them on the podcast every Sunday. The links are in the description. We will show you the site shortly. But it's not just me just saying it. It's great to hear it from other people. It's been the same interaction. And to me, it's like watching Fast and the Furious real life with just bikes. That's exactly what it is.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally we go up there. I mean, I probably go there once a week and just kick back. I mean, we sit there, we joke, we joke around all day. Me and Jacob played horse, I think it was. He beat me, but at the same time, I mean, we just do miscellaneous things all day. It's different competitions. You name it, we do it. But we just have a great time. I mean, we do lunch. They're having a party this week. I already we got the cupcakes coming in, the Gigi's cupcakes. But again, it's just a great time. Great, you just can sit around, just hang out, talk bikes all day. And I think the biggest thing I really like about the shop that gets you really caught into is just so many different parts, so many different accessories. And the one thing that I enjoy doing is just going up there and just adding accessories, whether it's my bike or seeing what's coming out new. And I think that's the biggest thing. They got a lot of the, high-end bikes and the bikes that everybody has today that you can actually go in and see the parts. It's not like you order from somewhere and it's like, well, I don't know how it goes on. This is X, Y, and Z said it fits. they literally go in and they like, okay, let's make sure it works, and they really got great customer service. I mean, that's the thing that I really do enjoy about them is that we do. And then again, they do everything that everybody else does enjoy. They do track,
Hmm.
they ride the track, they ride street, they go to the bike nights, they do it all, and the knowledge that they have is so great. They can the questions that you see coming in, um, the videos and pictures and things. It's just a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Literally, you can go up there all day, and it's like a museum, and you could just hang out all day and just see a lot of different cool things up there.
They are definitely next level, I think, when it comes to the whole thing. And it's not just the parts overall. Like I mentioned before, it's really about the people with me. And I've said this before over and over again. It's about the people, about the team. I remember being over there. And the funny thing is I'm going to be there for about like almost 2 weeks, right? Leaving tomorrow, I think. The funny thing is, I was telling my wife, I'm like, I'm so excited to just work in like the stock room or something like that, just to hang out with Pete and stuff. Just like, and I'm taking it as vacation, and I'm like, I want to actually work with them and just chop it up. It's so cool and stuff like that. And everyone's very, very chill, and I cannot speak enough of them, and not just because that we have a common goal, you know what I mean, of motorcycles and parts, but it's just overall great people overall, you know what I mean? So it's like something like that goes a long way to me outside of motorcycles and everything else. And to be honest, and to be candid, for GP this year, I didn't even ask the team. They messaged me like, so you come into GP or what? What's going on? And it's small things like this goes beyond me. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's pretty dope. I'm like, unfortunately, I will not be working for the next 2 weeks. I need some time off. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't say no to that. So that's really dope. But here's the thing. You're not riding in the street anymore. That's really cool because that tells me that you find a lot of value in being safe and being there for your family. Again, I read a lot into this stuff. You spend a lot of time with your children and stuff like that. But you still manage to pursue your passion, which is riding bikes and stuff like that. Have you ever been down on the track?
You know what? I fell off ATVs, dirt bikes. I have not been down on the track.
Okay.
I have not. And what's funny is like I'll be joking, not joking, but people be like, Griff, I know you can go faster. I know you can go faster. I know you can go faster. And it's for me, I think it's the aspect of I've been in competition before, and I feel like I have a limit when it comes to the track. And not saying that I'm scared or anything, but at the same time, when I was playing football, it was win or nothing, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But on the track, I feel like it's get home safely.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like I'm not winning nothing. I'm if I get an extra second or here an open track, I'm cool. But to cut somebody off, to dive in and different things like that, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And that's the biggest thing, because it's not just me, it's everybody that's out there on the track. The main objective is for everybody to get home. And so a lot of times I talk to guys and we be joking and like, I know you can go fast, you can go faster. And the biggest question is people ask you, especially at Coda, is what's your lap time? And I would say like the slowest time ever. And I just do that because it's just like, it's no competition. It's let's have fun. Let's ask questions. If I do something, you ask me, what was I thinking? Why did I do what I did? Or if you do something, I may come ask you and say, hey, I saw you do this. Why did you do this? Or how did you do this? Get pointers and tips. I think that's the main objective when it comes to track days. If you want to race, that's cool. Race, But for me, my main objective is get home safely. And so there's a reason why I personally don't ride street. Do I say, or do I look down or frown upon the people who ride on the street? The answer is no, completely no. Some people, that's their means of transportation or whatever it may be. That's their leisure. And I do understand riding the track gets expensive. It really does. And so the biggest thing is be safe. The biggest objective is get home safe. And I think if you have that mindset, you know, you again, everybody says it's going to happen one day, you know, my biggest objective is get home safe. Yeah. And so I haven't been down, but my main objective is like, you know what, I mean, I'll push it, but it's like, hey, listen, I have limits. When I feel like I'm getting tired, I get off the track. If it's drizzling, get a little wet, get off the track. First session, I never ride the first session. I just want to see what's the pace like, what is everybody like, how's everybody feeling. That's just me. After lunch, most of the time I don't ride. Reason being is most people, when you put food in your belly, you get a little full, you get a little tired, you're not reacting the same way. So I just strategically go about it in different ways because my main objective is to make it home. And so, not saying that's allowed me to be where I'm at today, but at the same time, I think it's just that, you know, if you have a plan, if it's I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna work on this today, that's what you work on. But you know, if you want to race, by all means, I think there's a setting for that, and that's racing. But on track days and things of that nature, I think the biggest objective is get home, because we all got families, we all got jobs, we all got places to be the next day.
Yeah. So I always ask people this question, but somebody did ask, and Solo Rider asked, do you miss the Hyper RVE? Since it was fully loaded, everything was really dope into it. But before you answer that question, I need a bike. I'm going to be in Texas. And you got all those fancy, I can't ride most of them. So you got to give me the cheapest thing or something like that.
Jump on the M. Jump on the 50th anniversary. Just jump on it.
No, thank you.
Why not? Okay, then jump on the Street Fighter.
No, that's a little above too. You got anything small?
And you got it. I trust. See, this thing, you know how you see when you cautious in the way that you're talking to me, it's like I trust you because you're going to be the one that's going to make sure I do absolutely nothing wrong. But then I also look at like their bikes, you know. But if you crash it, you stole it. I ain't know, you know. I don't know how you got it.
Oh my! Don't be saying that stuff in here, man. Dude, this dude here is above and beyond with the niceness, dude. They probably just didn't catch that gem that you just said right now.
Yeah, you. Hey, listen, you
oh, man. I would never.
Nah, I mean, listen, I'm gonna have bikes up there. If there's something, take it.
Oh,
take
my
it.
God.
That ain't no.
That is, guys. This is not like a stream thing, and that's his demeanor. That's the wild thing, man. I remember out there, I'm like, you know, some other team was like, oh, let's swap bikes. That's all right. They're like, nah, let's take the Hyper and stuff like that. That bike was really, really dope, man. I mean, I was like, when Jacob was like, yo, I think he might be getting rid of it and stuff like that, but I already knew you're gonna be getting something like way better or something like that or something cooler. So I don't know, man.
It's the biggest thing was, and the guy that asked the question about, do I miss it? Mm-hmm. I bought the bike because it was cool. It was really nice, a really nice bike, really cool, nice bike. It got a lot of attention. But when I bought that one. I rode it on the track, on a small track. It was really fun, really fun. And then I went and got the Street Fighter. And then once I got the Street Fighter, it was like I had two naked bikes.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, I got this bike that's really cool, but I got this bike that is really cool. And it was one of those things that I got both bikes sitting at motivation, and they're just sitting there. I had the Street Fighter for a year, and I think I had 150 miles on it, I think. And then I had the Hyper for like 2 years, two and a half years, and I had 595 miles on it. And they were just sitting there.
That bike was like that bike was tuned really sick.
Yeah,
it was the best. Yeah, it rides better than my Hyper.
Yeah, you put all the miles on it. You didn't decide to come down here.
Why you gotta put me on the spot like that, man?
It's okay though. But so you know, sometimes I gotta make sure to let people know that things ain't rotting out or whatnot. So make sure they still ride very peacefully. So, a guy by the name of Lindsay, he kept asking me. It was funny because I learned that, you know, to me everything's for sale. You know, there's always gonna be something else. So, he kept asking me, and then finally, jokingly, I just said, I'm about to sell the Hyper RV, and he was like, how much? And I threw just a dumb number out there, just threw it out there, and he was like, cool, I had a check for you tomorrow, and I was like, well, damn,
I'm not hanging around people like you.
And then he bought it, but he rides the shit out of it. Like, excuse my language, but he rides it, and it's like, cool, like, you know. And I didn't lose nothing on it. I had it for 2 years and lost nothing.
You should have told him Mike wrote it up the price. I said, do you know who's Mike?
Which Mike? You talking about me or you?
No. Can I get a moment? Can I get a little shine?
I apologize. You get the shine when you come down there.
Jesus
we had
Christ.
a great time.
We
had a great time in MotoGP last year. We was walking all over the place. What were we trying to find? Gloves? What were we trying to find?
We went to Alpine Stars. We walked around the entire Coda to go to Alpine Stars. She's like, nah, I gotta connect in Alpine Stars. You gotta link up. You like, trust me, they got you. I got you.
You know what? You didn't even want to listen to me. And guess what?
Yeah.
I got the free suit.
Listen. I'm not one of those. I'm not here to be like, yo, I'm with Mike, blah blah blah. You get a free.
No, but it was.
It's just not me. I don't do that.
It wasn't going to be that way. It was going to be like we're together, but it's like, hey, listen, I might not need it, but if you need something, just say what your size is. I'm gonna tell them what it is, and when they send it, I send it to you.
We can't do that. We can't do that. You know what I mean? I'm a man of honor. I have a little bit of dignity. You know what I mean? So it's all good.
It's called. Listen, when you own businesses, it's called a tax write-off. That's all it is. That's all they operate on, and they just throw a high number out there to say what they gave away. It's charity. That's all they do.
That's true. That's true, man. I'm
excited.
I'm excited this year. We'll chop it up. We'll go around and check things out, dude. Hopefully we go to see the paddocks and stuff. That was gonna be really exciting. Also, last year was really dope. I actually bumped to Marquez. Actually, I have a photo with him and everything. Went into into the pits and everything. I was really dope.
I was at the bar. You left me to go do all that stuff.
Come on, mate. Give me a break. Can I get a break? Can I get a break?
You was like you get to see this all the time, so you just left me.
Yo, I was with the basic folks, you know what I'm saying, walking in the heat, and you were in the AC with the giant screen and drink talking about, what's up? I'm like, nah, that's
free. It was free food. What you mean?
I cannot, man. I can't.
You forgot. You got up there, and then we tried to get Jacob in there by throwing the lantern.
Yeah, you can't be telling them. You can't be telling the secrets, man.
They don't know who they got to figure it all out though. But we was doing a lot of extracurricular stuff that we were not supposed to be doing. So,
oh my God.
So
man.
yeah, I know your wife is listening. So just so you know, I was following your Mike's lead, not my Mike.
No, absolutely not. If your wife is watching, we're following this Mike's lead. Unfortunately, I don't have the. Yo, the nonsense is ridiculous, man. But really, really good time overall, I think, man. I'm super excited to get back there and just kind of chill. My wife is actually coming this time around, so that's really dope. Very excited, man. Hopefully there's a lot more stuff going on. And I'm bringing a sweater, man, because Texas is weird, man. It's like hot in the daytime, right? You ride your bike or whatever, and then at night it's like dead cold.
We've been having some very weird weather lately. Hopefully this week, it's okay, because there's some predicting rain, but our weather changes like a lot of people and their emotions, so hopefully it changes up. But there's prediction of rain, but we'll see. My weekend is so busy. I got to coach, I got to do Longhorn Network, I got to attend MotoGP. I got a long week this week. It starts tomorrow. I got track meet tomorrow, girls carpool on Tuesday, track meet again Wednesday, another track meet on Thursday.
Jesus. Oh,
I got Longhorn Network on Wednesday. I got the motivation party on Thursday. Friday, I got the alumni golf, UT golf. Then I got the spring game Saturday. Then I got a coach. And then Sunday, I got MotoGP. So all 7 days this week is full.
You know what I just thought about? Remember when we were at the party last year? Do you remember what you said to me?
Which part? I had to go somewhere. Where I had to go?
No, you didn't have to.
I had to go pick the girls up from we went to Ducati. Remember I had to leave because I had to go pick the girls up from
No,
carpool.
not from that party. Not from that party. From the motivation party. I was hanging out, right? You pull up on me. You're like, "What? You don't like talking to people?" Yeah, I'm like, "What?" I was just standing there, just chilling, like I just kind of recouping. I'm like, "There's so much happening." You're like, "Why aren't you talking to everybody?" Well, you don't like to talk to people. I'm like, what is this guy's bugging right now? This is wild, man. But really, really dope, man. And I'm spending more time just reminiscing over everything because it's just overall the experience was really, really dope. And I'm super excited and grateful to be back there. It's gonna be kind of cool, and hopefully do things a little. I'm gonna do less working. Remember, you're like, man, do you always have your camera in your hand? You were saying that to me.
Yeah, you work too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to not work as much this time. Just really either ride a little bit more. I know we're supposed to go shooting. So that's gonna be kind of cool. Very excited for that, and probably ride more, and not as much camera this time around. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, enjoy it, man. Enjoy Texas. I mean, it's a lot that will be going on that weekend. Get out with your wife, man. Go take her out some good food, some good Tex-Mex, some cool things, some nightlife. You know, go hang out. You on vacation.
So with you riding, when you guys do track, it's always just Coda, right? You guys go to, or there's like mini tracks and stuff like that.
So my biggest hectic thing is my schedule. So it's a lot easier to go to Coda. I've been to Crescent, which is out in the Dallas area, right outside of Dallas. My biggest thing is though I want to start hitting different tracks. But my issue is one, it's getting there because my schedule is. With the cupcake thing, if people don't know, I had a reality TV show. I don't know if you watched it. It's on. We shot a reality TV show on Roku.
Okay.
It's a 6-episode season. It's free if you got any Samsung devices, or you can download Roku. Watch. It's called The Cupcake Guys. So I shot a reality TV show. Involves my family, my 2 business partners, and their families and what they got going on. A really good show, family friendly, not like the. The crazy, housewives of Atlanta or anything crazy. We told them we're not doing that. But really cool. Some guest appearances from Jamal Charles, The Undertaker. Just a lot of great things going on. Some we did for the community and things of that nature. Then my kids, my son plays on his Travel 7-on-7 team. We just got back from Houston last weekend, got second place. We got to go to... He has one this weekend here locally, but then we got to go to Tampa at the end of this month. My daughter just got back from Tampa. We got to go to Jersey. I don't know how far Jersey is from you. But,
Jersey.
That's
Jersey deep.
For soccer. They made it to the Nationals. Her team is ranked 13 in the country, U13 soccer. And then my youngest one, she has a soccer game Saturday, and then she has basketball on Sunday. So, they used to support me. Now my biggest thing is supporting them. So that's my schedule. So it's hard for me and my wife, but then you got 3 kids all doing sports. It's hard trying to get us to separate and go do X, Y, and Z. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So.
That's why I appreciate you being here, man, because I know you have a lot on your plate at all times. I'm like, oh, man, when I hit you up, I'm like, oh, you want to come through? He's like, yeah, I'm going to come on. And then my wife was like, it's Easter Sunday, right? Like, you're out of control asking that time. So, I appreciate you taking the time and stuff.
It's all good, man. Whatever reason I got to, get home is the best. I mean, I promise you. Just being home is the best, and then we're actually building a new house right now that pretty much I'm just fronting the bill because my wife is picking everything. So our house will be done in July. And so that's something else we got on the plate. That's something else I got to do this week. We got to go walk the whole thing and start. Oh, my God. That's a headache, too, of just ordering things and custom-built houses and stuff. So, again,
are you going to have a specific spot for your bikes? Like a specific spot?
Oh, man. I got it's called my man cave personally. I'm going to tell everybody about this. So it's kind of cool, right? So you look at the house, and on the left, it looks like it's 2 separate, it looks like an H. So like 2 separate garages. Mm-hmm. But one is like the everyday garage, but the other garage is going to have its own AC unit. And people who know me know I love American Bullies. I have 3 of them right now. I got them all imported, bought them from all over the world. So I have 3 of them right now. And I have their own personal dog area, AC unit, dog wash. They have their own dog run uh, with the artificial turf and things. So I have that set up for them, strictly for them. And then I have my gym, and then I have my lift that I can put my cars on and everything else. And then I'm gonna have my bikes all, and then it's like my own entire like man cave area that is like, people have those like those car garages. It's
Yep.
like I literally built that garage for all of my hobbies, and it's like that is all me. And then we got a big game room that I'm building in the back of the house by the pool, which I'm gonna have all the jerseys of everybody that I exchanged jerseys with throughout my career. And then I'm gonna have like I call it the jersey wall. So it's gonna be all jerseys on this one wall with the bar, keep it like a bar atmosphere so you can watch games and stuff. We literally drew it from scratch. Took us about 7-8 months to come up with, to draw all the stuff, but it's up and running right now. So this is our last home. The kids have their own wing upstairs with their own game room, everything. So when they got friends and stuff come over, listen, go upstairs, stay up there, leave us alone. So I'm a real big shoe guy, so I got I'm just not everybody. I got a 15-foot closet that has like a like you go to like I used to work at Finish Line. So
I wouldn't know what it's like.
You don't know it was like working at Finish Line?
No.
Yeah, I had regular jobs. Man, I started work when I was 10 years old. I used to referee soccer games. And then from soccer games,
I wasn't referring to that part. I'm saying the shoe rack to the wall.
Okay, yeah. Well, I got like a shoe rack, like a whole thing. But I got like, you got the library with the little ladder that slides.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have like a little ladder that like slides back and forth. So it's like, I feel like it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty dope.
So that, like next year when you come back from MotoGP, like then we can like do that. You see?
Oh my god.
What? That way you ain't gotta stay no. You stay at the house.
Oh my, you're out of control. Your wife's gonna kick
What?
both mics out.
No, like listen, we're good. You're good because you got your guest room to be upstairs. You be by yourself. You're perfectly fine.
Oh man, you know what I want to do? I want to get on the track with you guys. So I was telling the team and other people that watch the podcast and stuff like that I'm looking to get a van, which I am probably gonna do. I'll end up probably either driving from New York to Texas and just hit Cardo with you guys and stuff like that. I think I'm going to get my tracksuit fitted during the motivation party. And
I got a better option for you.
What?
Just borrow one of my bikes. What? At least you don't have to travel.
That's what that's what the guys at Motivation said too. That's funny.
What?
Yeah, but your bikes are not like borrowed bikes to go do track bikes. Come on, dude.
They gotta be ridden somehow. I don't ride on the street.
Send me to the streets. Now I'm a safe rider.
When you say it like that, send you to the streets, it almost sounds like I'm like you work for me and like I'm like a pimp or something.
No.
You gotta say it different. But yeah, literally, no, like real talk. Just when you ready to come, let's ride.
That Beamer though, I'm probably gonna ride that. That's really dope. By the way, you got rid of the other BMW S1000, the blue white with the carbon fiber. It was in the corner, in this own little private sector. That bike was so dope. Oh my god!
And you know what's crazy?
What?
I had a random dude hit me up randomly and was like, "I got X amount of money right now," and I was like, well, where are you coming from? He's like, I'm coming from Louisiana. And I said, well, I'm taking it as a joke. When can you be here? He's like, I'll be there tomorrow. Okay.
Oh, so he bought that bike. No, but do they know it's your bike? It's possible that you have that effect too when you're selling the bikes. If you know what I mean?
Maybe it's the fact. I guess some people. I guess for me, I think it's easier to sell bikes to people that you know if they know you take care of it.
Okay. Well,
So,
your
I
stuff
think
is
that's
like
the biggest
spick
thing.
and span. Like every single bike didn't have like a speck of dust on it when I saw it. Even when I rode the Hyper, and as you straddle it a little bit, like, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh man, what the hell is that? Is that like a little mark? And Jacob was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what? You see that? He was like, yeah, what are you talking about? Everything is good. So everything is like super crisp. And it's like super well maintained, really. Basically, I'm assuming you ride them for a little bit, and then at that point, you know, you either get something else or you end up selling it. They're pretty much all brand new.
Yeah, I ride them, and then it's like, I keep up with the maintenance every year. I make sure I get the oil changes and things of that nature. Like, it does not, I get them registered. And it's funny when you go take them in, they're looking at like, you never rode the bike. Why are you getting oil change, or why are you doing X, Y, and Z?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I just keep up with them because I keep a paper trail of whoever I sell the bikes to. You have the owner manual, you have the keys, you have all of anything that was done to the bike, you have everything. Even the parts that I buy, you have the receipts, and you have a list of everything that comes with the bike. And I do my cars, I do everything exactly the same way. Like, when you get it, you know where it's been serviced, you know what's been done, you know everything. I just do that just because I just feel like that's what, and I do the same thing. I like when I do my dogs and things of that nature. It's like I have every single
documentation.
Like, to the vet. Like, I literally, behind me, I got a file cabinet of every. Like, you go get your shots, all your records go in there. What day, where at, everything is right there, and that's just how. And I learned that from my mom. Is like keeping in order of all your stuff. So. That's what I do with all my bikes. Everything's like that. I literally gave this guy, when he bought this, I gave him a book of everything, and he was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Everything that's been done to the bike, everything." And he was like, "Damn!" Like, so I just feel like when you're buying something, you need to know everything about the bike, because I just want to cover my. To me, I just want to cover my ass. Don't come to me and say X, Y, Z. No. Listen. This, or if you have an issue, or this is X, Y, and Z, look right here. Call this person, or we can take the bike back to that person to say, listen, you did this, and he said this. Y'all can have this conversation. But I just like to have that just to cover my tail at all times.
Yeah, I mean, everything is like super, super crisp, man, regarding every single one of your bikes. But I'm surprised that you've never taken your Street Fighter out. That bike is one of the cleanest one I've seen, and the mods are tastefully done. Everything. The exhaust on there is really dope. It's like, I'm shocked that you don't ride that bike on the street. At least a little bit.
I mean, if I did, I would go to the gym. But even when I go to the gym, it's like my wife is with me, so it's like, and it's weird. It's funny because like if I even walk and look at it, my wife looks at me and is like, "Oh, okay, go back this way."
Oh my god.
It's like she looks at the bike. What are you doing? Like, but literally, that's just how it is. But again, it's just a deal that we made, and I just try to stick to it.
No, sounds like a fair deal to me, man. I mean, if you stick by it and she stick by hers, that's pretty dope. I mean, if it works, it works, and also it's pretty safe too, man. To be honest, and I've seen so many people that rides on the street, and also they ride on the track after being experienced with the track, and they have a budget for it. A lot of them tend to favor riding on the track more. Even my last guest from last Sunday doesn't ride the street neither. I was taken back when he was like, I don't ride the street really anymore. Just mainly do track. But in that same space, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on this. I know you've probably seen some of the street racing videos, some of the road racing videos. Just wanted to get your thoughts and opinion about it before we kind of wrap up for the night. I don't want to keep you all night. It is Easter Sunday, and you probably have a lot going on. We're coming up on the hour mark, so yeah, just want to get your thoughts on the road racing scene and stuff like that.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I watch them. Like, I watch the YouTube videos. I watch the IG videos. I mean, I watch them. I'm not the one to judge. To each their own. You know what I mean? You know, we all got skeletons in the closet. We all do things that, you know, if people knew about it, they would judge us and things in that nature. So my biggest thing is be safe. That's really all I can really say is be safe. Because again, I say it like this. The same argument can be said for me playing football. You going out there and throwing your head into somebody every play. You know? And after you saw what happened to the young man with the Buffalo Bills versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
Exactly. And so to tell somebody that, you know, yeah, you can die, but we literally almost saw literally saw somebody, you know, die and come back.
Yeah.
So, um, and it goes the same thing goes for track. You know, you risk the possibility of getting injured or anything in that nature. So, um, I think at the end, just the riding a motorcycle is dangerous. It is because the track or whatever it is, you understand that there's no protection that's really around
Hmm.
you. Is there a safer way than others? Yes, but at the same time, you're still riding a motorcycle.
Hmm.
So I would say the same thing as anybody. Be safe, be careful. I think they know the same way that we know the chances that we're taking when we put that leg over that saddle and we get on and we start it up and we go. It's the chance that we're taking. Um, and a lot of times you can't control the biggest issues with a motorcycle is you can control the bike, but you can't control everything else that's around you.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, as I'm riding on the track, you asked me have I been down before, and I tell you my main objective is to get home.
Hmm.
And my mindset is, and I hope and I wish everybody's same mindset is to get home. And so, road racing, like again, I said, I ain't gonna be the one that says, oh, that's the dumbest thing ever. I watch it. I do. And then you watch it and you see the craziest things and craziest crashes and things, and you're like, ooh. But then it ain't no different than you watching MotoGP. And you see same crashes.
Yeah,
Not
but
the
MotoGP is
same.
a controlled environment, though. I think that's the
Understandable,
difference. Yeah.
but you still see crashes.
Yeah.
And people get hurt and people get injured. It's I don't, because the thing is, it's almost like when people say you got a mild concussion, you got a major concussion, or whatever it may be. When you put your leg over the side of that motorcycle, it's the risk that you take. It may be a controlled environment, yes, but it's still the risk that you take when you go down. And it's the same thing with road racing. It's the risk that you take if you lose control or if you go down, or knowing that something might come in front of you, a car or something, or whatever it may be. It's the risk that you take. And so that's why I don't cast any judgment on it, because you're trying to compare the two. And yes, you can, but at the same time, instead of trying to compare the two, I think as a community, we should try to embrace one another and maybe have a respectful conversation with somebody. Say, hey, you know what? That's impressive. Come out to the track, and learn something else on the track, or maybe people may get on the track and enjoy that more than they do doing the road racing. So I think a lot of times where that comes into play is, and I see this all the time, especially on social media, somebody will post a race or a road race, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, and first thing somebody, that is so stupid. But naturally, as a man, the ego kicks in, and you're like, well, F you. That stuff you doing, you just scared because you can't do it. And now instead of having a conversation like, hey, listen, that's cool, man, be safe. Hey, you should come out to the track and come check that out. Try it out one time. Maybe you might like it. That's a different type of conversation that people can respect and have a different mindset on it. But when you come at somebody at a negative way or negative tone, as if you're right and they're wrong, or you try to cast judgment on that, that's where you're in the same community, but you're divided and you're separated. And so that's why I don't go about things like that. I don't cast judgment on things like that, because I'll be a hypocrite to say, like, I watch 650E. I watch his videos all the time. I watch his races. So for me to watch his races, I'll be a hypocrite and say, that's dumb. But why am I watching it? If you're dumb, you just don't even have nothing to do with it. If it's dumb, you don't like it, you discredit whatever, you don't have nothing to do with it. But I watch it. I won't do it, but I watch it.
That's so funny, man. Casts such a wide net. Like, I've spoken to so many different walks of life. They've all seen or at least heard of him. That's so funny. That's really, really dope. I I always mention him every now and then in the podcast. He's really changed, I guess, the online motorcycling community. And I think very much so. Have you met him?
Yeah, I met him a couple times. We follow
Okay.
each other on social media.
Okay.
We speak back and forth.
Very much like same, very similar demeanor to you, by the way.
Yeah. He's
Mhm.
like literally. I met him. We talked. We spoke. Really, really cool guy. And
Mhm.
again, like I said, we joke. Me and him joke too. I said, when you gonna get on the track with me? And he's like, when you gonna come roll race? And it's like, that's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cool with that. But if you watch his videos and you look at it, it's like the way that he does it, it's like he strategically plans and does what he does.
Yeah.
And understand that what he does is a job, it's a business, it generates revenue, and he's a businessman. So I can't knock him for what he's doing because it's business. People watch his videos, people watch, his bike build series. He gives away free bikes. They watch his build series. You look at the parts and stuff with the whole Moto Million thing and everything else. So you can't.
You can't say that brand. You can't say that brand.
I'm sorry.
We only rep motivation in
I
here.
know we write motivation. I write motivation, but again, like I said, he does what he does, and it's a business type of thing. And so I don't knock him because what he does, it interests people, and it's a different type of community.
Yeah.
And because of that, we do, like you said, we all do the same thing. I rode on the street. I met Jacob. I met Nate. I met all these guys. They're more of guys that are more in tune with track riding. Yeah. But I was initially a guy that rode on the street.
They are badass, by the way. They ride hard, man. Like, I saw Nate pulling off. I mean, it wasn't like a full ride, pulling off on the Superleggera in the parking lot of the Motivation headquarters, man. Nasty. And how do you call it? Jacob? Oh my God, dude. Savage. Savage. In the street. I was riding with him going out to eat, man. He had his girl in the back rocking wheelies in there.
I don't ride. Yeah, Jacob. Jacob's like my son. And
Yo.
Jacob is the guy that I always got to tell him all the time. Jacob.
Savage.
Son, sit down. Relax. Now, you talk about somebody been down, my dog has been down, and he'll get right back up and get right back on the pony. He ain't got a problem with it. But back to what we were saying, is like, we're all the same community. And with that being said, you got to embrace different walks of life when it comes to being in the same community. And with that being said, is what you do is no better than the other person. It might be safer or whatever, but that's your belief on what you believe and what they believe and what they do and what they enjoy. And again, I talked to a guy that said he road races. And I said, are you scared? And his mindset was, yeah, I know the risk that I take. And when he said that, you have to respect him as a man. But that's what he enjoys doing. And it's like, okay, well, what do you say? What do you say to somebody who tells you that? You just respect them and keep it rolling.
That is good advice and good conversation. I mean, to be honest, I didn't look at it in that perspective. And to be honest, to me, this question is like a soft pitch to a controversial part of the conversation. Always seeing what people's perspective and their thoughts and opinion. Your approach has been very different from most of the time when I do ask this question. It's kind of like a trap almost. So it's always good to kind of hear someone's thoughts on it, and the way you approach it, very, very different from everyone else. However, Governor D Nice does have a question here. He mentioned here, do you ever convince any former NFL players to ride? If so, who and what do they ride?
I haven't never convinced anybody to ride. I know some people that know how to ride, and they want to ride, but again, they deal with the same situation that I dealt with when it comes to my wife. Is wives don't let them, that fear factor. I guess I like to say it like this. This to me is a good comparison. Me personally, everybody knows this, and everybody can say this, and they can lie and say they don't. When they see a pit bull across the street, first thing you say is, what the pit bull is gonna do? What it's gonna bite, right? When you see a motorcycle, you see somebody riding, first thing everybody says is, he's gonna kill himself. He's gonna die. He's gonna get in an accident. it's the same metaphor. So naturally, I had to tell my wife, come watch me ride. Watch it. Watch it. And then I had her meet people. And when she saw there's doctors, there's lawyers, there's businessmen, there's multimillionaires, I'm like, listen, that's a Superleggera right there. That's $100,000 bike. That over there was the BMW that they were selling. I can't even think. I'm thinking a lot right now, but the bike they were selling for like 80,000, whatever at the time. Those competition bikes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, they really just going out there riding a bike? Yes, because this is a hobby to them. They just come out here, ride the bikes, put them up, and they go back to work on Monday through Friday. And it's like, she's just sitting there looking at me like, wow. And I'm like, yeah, so think about it. Do you think they all want to go home? And she's like, yeah, I want to go home too. This is a safe environment. And so she saw that. But a lot of times, a lot of these, wives of these young men are, he got kids, he gonna die, da, 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 da. And it's funny because you listen to it and it's like, only if you knew all the drinking and driving and things that people do when they go out and party out to 2 o'clock in the morning, and you on the road driving home, and everybody leaving the nightlife, and the probability of trying to get home without being in an accident, knowing that everybody's out there that's drinking and driving. And it's like, it's people pick and choose, but it's natural because we have been told for so long, look at that pit bull over there. He's aggressive. He bites. Might be the most playfulest dog ever. Best pet, companion, whatever. But naturally, we have in our heads, it's that until proven otherwise. Same thing with motorcycles. In your head, it's a motorcycle. You're going to die. You're going to hurt yourself. And naturally, that is what the case is. So, yes, I've had people that want to go. They came out there, they watched, they want to do it. And then as soon as they get close to ready to go pull the trigger, wives tell them, no, do it. And then it just kind of shuts down from there. But it's a lot of people want to, though.
To kind of interject a little bit is that I never recommend anybody ride a bike. Not because I don't love I love motorcycles. For example, like today, I chill with Jojo. Shout out to him, big shout out to him. We did so much work today. Well, he did a lot of work today. Got a really dope video coming out with him. I'm gonna try to edit it tonight after here. So he doesn't ride the street neither. Because I was like, oh yeah, we should go out for dinner or whatever, go hang out, and then ride to a destination and then get food or whatever. And he was like, nah, I don't. All of my bikes are just like track bikes, and there was a V4S there. He has an Aprilia there. He has a BMW, like amazing bike. Like his whole lineup was wild, crazy. And he was like, yeah, maybe I'll get something we could ride in the street and stuff. He said he doesn't have a real purpose for riding in the street. And I think there's something that happened as you become a little bit more mature, or at least what I was explaining to him is that I feel like, I don't like to say feel like, I think what happened is that people enjoy motorcycles in a few different ways. One, they like the thrill, the excitement, the speed, right? And some people like the journey, like, going to a location, traveling there, and then you have an end destination, whether it's like a movie or you're having lunch or brunch or whatever it is you're having with friends. The ride to get there is really dope, and then you have a conversation, and then you head back to where you're going. And I share somewhat that aspect of motorcycling to me, and I think I will experience the same joy when I start doing track as well, and it's going to add a new layer of what I like about motorcycles, because I do plan on start doing track as well. But I did that a lot with my wife before. We used to ride 2-up and stuff before she got sick. We used to ride 2-up, go out on adventures and stuff, go in the mountains, go to like waterfall areas or whatever, just random places. We would like pinpoint them out. Oh, that'd be dope. Let's go get like ice cream. We'd go like 500 miles away to get ice cream, riding 2-up and stuff like that. So it was, and it will take like twisty roads to actually get there. So that made that part of the adventure really, really cool, outside of the fast-paced part. So I think when you don't have that aspect of motorcycle riding, where it's just the speed, where you go 90, you go 100, you go 130, you go 150, and then you get a bigger bike, you tune it even more. At some point, you're going to max out, right? It's going to be like, okay, what else is there? I think that's the thing. That's why. And just to kind of answer the question directly, I don't suggest for people to ride bikes, because I would feel crazy guilty if someone were, because it's bound to happen if you crash. That's going to be on me that I convinced you. Like if you see my bike, you're like, oh, that's really dope, blah, blah, blah. I want to know. All right, here's the steps that you could do if you want to do this, and that's it. Because I also believe that if something does happen to someone else, they'll be like, well, you know, Mike told such and such to go ride. It's on him.
True.
That's
true.
Be-
I'm with you. And my biggest thing is, like I said, people that I know that ride, I push them to the track. If you want to ride, go to the track. And that's me. Because with different corporations, whether it's riding now, whatever, you have a coach. You go to class. You go on the bike, you go to class, they teach you different techniques, they follow you. It's like a school, it's an all-day class. And so I say that because there's somebody, because listen, when I first got my license to ride a motorcycle and I went and bought one and I went and I drove that damn thing home, oh, it got real. It got real so quick that I then started practicing in my neighborhood. Then slowly but surely, I got on the main street out the neighborhood, come back. It literally took me 6 to 8 months to get enough confidence to get on a highway, because it got real when I'm out there and I'm hearing, and I'm like, dang, cars are going a lot fast. And then when you're sitting there parked at a stoplight and you're sitting there looking at an intersection, it looks totally different than sitting in the car with a hood in front of you and you're sitting up. It looks different.
Yeah.
So I had to get that confidence. But even now, when I ride on the street, I am so nervous because I'm like looking at the road, see potholes, looking to the right. Does this car see me? Look to the left. Does that car see me? Going around there, road change. They're doing construction. Oh, looks a little cloudy outside. Is my tires warm? All this stuff is going through my head. And I'm like, don't feel comfortable. Don't feel comfortable. Get off this. And that's how I feel. So it's like, I don't even, like, it just doesn't do it for me. It just really, like, being on the street does not do it for me, because I got the bike because I wanted to learn how to bike, and I had it. It was cool. And I was going, and it was like, all right, go to the gym. That was cool, whatever. And it's like, all right, I got cars. Why am I going to the gym for this? Let me go to the track. My friend passed away, and he kept telling me, let's go ride, let's go ride, let's go ride. And I never got around to doing it. And then he passed away. And then I went to the track. And as soon as I got on the track, and it was like, oh, I'm learning something. Then it got to the point, not necessarily how fast or how top speed I can go, but it was, how can I get better body position? How can I get smoother here? How can I get a better drive out? How can I get more corner speed? All those things started working and clicking into my head. Okay, where's my braking point? How much further can I go before I brake? All those things is going on. And keep in mind, I only ride at a 365 days. I may ride maybe 4 to 5 times a year.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm gonna borrow your bikes a couple of times.
So I literally have not ridden a bike. I broke into BMW, so I had to break that in before they had to unlock it or whatnot. But prior to that, I have not ridden a bike since the weekend after Thanksgiving. So you have December, January, February. I didn't ride till March. And I'm in Texas, so our weather, you can ride for a long time. And the next time I'm going to ride now is going to be after MotoGP for the Aprilia track day. I will ride one day on Monday, and after that, I won't ride again until the end of May. And after that, I might ride again till June, maybe not August, but I will ride in the first week in September, then I'll ride November, and then I won't ride no more.
But here's a good question. I mean, you're doing track, right? You have a coach. They're teaching you. Since there's like really big gaps of you riding like this, do you find it hard to kind of maintaining the same speed, memorizing not memorizing. Once you learn it. But do you find that you have to get reacclimated again? That's a better way to phrase it. Every time you start
Yeah,
riding.
so I will ride a Aprilia, like this Aprilia track day after MotoGP. That day is to get back into it. Literally, it gets back. I get back into it. What I mean by get back into it, I take it easy. I know that I'm not going to be running the same times I was running at the end of last year when I was seasoned. Then I start focusing on what is my stamina like? What is my like? Am I getting tired quick? Is my legs getting fatigued quick? Do I feel heavier? Can I not move as much? I focus on all that, and then I start attacking my training differently. So now it's like, okay, I felt this, I felt this. I need to stretch more on this. I need to do more stretching, more movement. I need to everything starts changing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get into like, okay, it's track season. This is how I'm going to train for this time being. Just in the weight room. It's not really lifting heavy weights, but it gets more into just being mobility. And then, okay, I had a hard time doing this, so I need to do this more stretches and get more in this position and get stronger on the inner thighs or whatever it is. I do that. That's how I start attacking it. So the next time I go out there, it's like, what do? I also videotape myself, and I go back and I rewatch the videotapes to say, okay, how did I look? Then I may go on YouTube and watch somebody else. And the night before I ride the track, I watch YouTube videos. I watch the videos to get an idea of how to ride the track. I prepare it like I did when I played football.
I was gonna say like you're carrying over other traits from other things, which is football.
Exactly. I don't go out there like track day, let's go. No, because I know how serious it is. I know how serious you get. So I treat it differently. And it's like, again, like I said, when I get fatigued, when I get tired, I'm off the track. I'm not trying to push another lap. But what? What am I gaining from getting one more lap in? Getting fatigued? Cool. Get your ass off. Go back. Go hydrate. What felt bad? What felt off? What am I noticing? What am I seeing? If I see somebody else that did something, okay, let me go ask some questions on what they're doing. I treat that day like a teaching day, like a whole class teaching day. And and so when you said how you reach a point, even playing a game of football, you don't ever reach a point, because if you feel like you reach a point, where do you go? Like you like naturally what happens is, in the game of football, you're young, you're very athletic, but the game is fast. Because I might be fast, but I don't know where to go. Because each play is about 3 to 4 seconds. I'm fast, but where do I go? Ball snaps. Where's my keys? So you start watching film, getting keyed into things on, okay, when they like to run the ball, this guard or this center does this, or when they're going to pass the ball, this quarterback footwork is like this under center. When he's in the shotgun, it's like this. This receiver may pull his gloves up and tighten them up. That's when I know it's a pass. When it ain't a pass, he just jogs to the line. Is the inside receiver, is he on the ball? If he's on the ball and the outside receiver is off the ball, he's going to motion in, which means he's probably going to go underneath or whatever it is. Or their bunch formations. What they like to run out of these bunch formations is 1st and 10. What do they like to do? It's 2nd and 8. They want to get to a manageable 3rd down. It's 3rd and long. They're going to do draw. They backed up. They're going to try to take a shot. Are they inside the 40? Are they already in field goal range? All those things are going through your head within those 25 to 30 seconds between each play. But in order to get there, you have to keep learning. But then you have to self-reflect. Okay, what do I do? Why do they do this? What do they see? Watch myself to see what they're seeing. The fun thing I told Nick works in motivation. He always says from turn 11 to turn 12, I always pass him. And he's like, I don't get it. What do you do? I say, Nick, I wait for you to hit the brakes. He said, why? I said, because you hit the brakes too early. I said, you hit the brakes, then you got to get back on the gas, then hit the brakes. So when I'm going down the back straight, I'm looking at you at the corner of my eye. And as soon as I see your body flinch up, I say, he's about to hit the brakes. And as soon as I see you do that, I go 1,000, 2, then I hit my brakes. And then I just pass you late braking. And he's like, you really see that? I was like, yeah. I watch little keys to figure out what the person is doing. And I try to get involved in that as I'm on the track. So it's not like I'm trying to race or anything. It's just I'm getting better at my craft and what more can I learn? And that's what I like to do when I go to track days, is not necessarily how fast I'm going, but where do I get better at? If I hit the brake too early, can I give it a little bit more gas here? I just try to figure, because every time you can't be perfect. There's no way of being perfect. Nobody's perfect. And so I think that's the biggest thing of every time I go out there, it's like I relearn. And once I'm relearning, okay, where do I need to get better? What am I maintaining from last year? And what do I need to work on after the first time? Okay, my body lost that feeling, so I need to get back into this. And then once I've mastered this, now I go to this, and then I go to that. So that's just the way that I approach it, the same way I approach the game. To be a professional, you got to treat it like a professional. Not saying I'm trying to be a professional, but I try to treat it the same way that I did when I played football, and the same way I do my business. In order to be successful, when you do it, I'm not just putting my foot in there. I'm going in, and I want to know everything that I can possibly know. And when I'm watching MotoGP, when I'm watching Moto America, when I'm watching World Superbike, I literally just I don't care who wins. I'm watching like different things and techniques on what they're doing, and that's what I try to really focus in on.
Yeah, I've noticed a very common trend with you. You apply the same premise to it's I'm guessing this is something that you've done prior to becoming a professional NFL player. You follow those same guidelines, and then you apply it towards everything else, because with those same guidelines, you are able to find a lot of success, whether it's for business, for writing, understanding and learning of observation. Very common, and they all kind of trend towards everything. But I thought that was something that was very, very interesting you mentioned about motivation. So while we were heading to Coda, everyone was ripping it, like going hard, right? And they rode really, really aggressive, but really, really well, right? You could see they apply a lot of their training, or at least some of the riding that they do on track to street. And even I'm trying to remember his name. He has a really cool name. He's the only person I forgot his name. He's probably gonna choke me out when I go to the shop this week. It's not Andrew. He has the KTM.
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Yeah. See, I'm like, yo, he has a really cool name. Also,
Really,
my name.
really good rider.
Dude,
really
he
good
is beast on this KTM. We're pulling up. He's rocking a wheelie. He drops it and then slide the back. Right? Didn't say anything. And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, okay, I know how to go fast, but this is like next level. But meanwhile, he's taking me back to the airport when I'm leaving, and he's breaking down on understanding the chassis, on how when you hit the brakes or you hit the rear and what happens. And none of this stuff was just because he was just doing it randomly by mistake on the bike. It was just like doing it because he just want the bike to do it. That was so dope. And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, I can't wait to come back already. Just hearing that. And Jacob, so many times he was like, you got to come and do a track day with us in Coda, man. Don't worry about it. Just come to Texas. Don't worry about the bike. Don't worry about anything. And this is like, I don't know. They're like, when are you going to move out there?
No, man, Sebastian really.
He is.
Sebastian helped me once, and he didn't realize it. I met Sebastian at Crescent when I was on the Hyper.
Mm-hmm.
And he was riding the KTM, and he was helping his friend out, and I was like, just stay behind Sebastian. Just whatever he does, do it. And he literally, after we were done, he was like, hey, you were on my ass the whole time. Why didn't you just pass me? I said, really? I was following you because you were like, the way you rode, I was like watching your movement, and it was like, I was like, damn, this is how you ride this damn naked bike. And it was like watching him roll, and it was like impressive. And so we met. That's how I met him. And then next thing you know, he's working at Motivation. So it's like, okay, well, damn, everybody knows everybody. But
I say this all the time. Everybody knows everybody in this motorcycling thing. Like, everybody has somebody, knows somebody. It's such a small world. Such a small world.
It really, but again, it's the community. And that's why I say, even with what goes back to what we talk about road racing or track or whatever it is, we're all in the same community. And it's always something that we can learn from one another. And I tell people all the time, respect people all the time, because you never know, you may need somebody. I mean, you could be, people road racing and stuff, and imagine you going to a track. This is hypothetically speaking. You going to a track, somebody road racing, they see you break down, and you got a bike or something on the back of your truck.
Yo, Jacob's in the chat. Like, I'm sorry, I totally stopped you, dude. What's up, Jacob? Oh my goodness.
Again, you just never know. You never know when you may need somebody or whatnot. And hey, Jacob, my son.
Oh my God, I didn't say it was his son. Get out of here.
That's my. He knows he's my son.
Yo,
that's my son.
Yo, Jacob is nasty, dude. By the time I came back to New York, I was like, man, I gotta learn how to wheelie. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I'm like, I'll go to the dealership, get a dirt bike. I'm like practicing on a daily basis and everything.
You should have seen the first time I went riding with Jacob to a bike night. Jacob popped a wheelie on a Monster, and I'm like, dude, I thought we said we was about to take it easy. What in the hell is going on here?
He's the meaning of that meme. Like, we gotta go for a chill ride, and
it's nothing chill about my son Jacob.
Oh,
nothing
my
chill
God.
whatsoever.
Yeah. Jacob's a dope dude, man. Really dope guy. I mean, I can't speak enough about everybody that's there, guys. I know you probably be like, oh yeah, he does videos with motivation, so he is saying nice things. I'm telling you guys, any one of you that, okay, you know what? Let me phrase it this way. You have out in Texas, you go to Motivation, go visit their shop, and tell me any different, okay? Don't even say anything about, oh, I saw, Mike blah, blah, blah on YouTube or whatever it is. Let's go over there. Then you're going to come back, tell me, dude, I was over there with mad bikes. Everybody was super cool, very laid back. It was the coolest thing ever. I'm telling you, it's freaking awesome. Everybody's like freaking awesome. I'm so excited. I've been telling my wife how excited I am to introduce her to everybody over there, because it's just wild.
Hey, I always joke with Jacob, because I always said, you know how 650 Eve got his master mechanic Zach?
Mm-hmm.
So my master mechanic is Jacob. That's my master mechanic. That's the
man.
one that installs my parts. That's my master mechanic. Jacob's my master mechanic. So I need to come out and do something. That's my master. He's the one that installs all my stuff and puts things on the bike. I tell him what I need, and he just orders it. The next thing you know, I come in the shop and he didn't put it on there. So if anybody ever sees the M1000, matter of fact, the person that installed everything on the S1000 was Jacob. The person who installed everything on the Street Fighter was Jacob. The person who installed everything on the Hyper was Jacob. So, that being said, he's like my master mechanic. He's the guy that if you need to order something, call him, Motivation, and he's going to tell you how to put it on there, because he has a great plan. The great way he does it is, I need to be able to tell people how to install it. So, he uses my bike as the crash dummy, and he's also my, I like to say he's my guy that, once he installs it, I make sure he has to test ride it first, just to make sure it works, because you need to be able to trust your own work. But he does a phenomenal job. I like to joke with him all the time, but Jacob's a really cool guy. Again, I told you, I met him there one night. He gave Nick a battery to his bike, and again, he's been cool ever since.
I had to pull this up real quick so you can see it. So I tell you guys, man, the whole Motivation team is awesome. This was Jacob's doing, by the way. I got to show you guys this. This is his setup for. Let me just see that. There we go. That's his so he was like, this is what you need to get on the bike. This is the colorway. This is the sprocket. He was like, by the way, I can't say what it is because they'll know which bike it is, but let's just say it's super twitchy from what he told me. He was like, you'll go one tooth in the back, and it is super torquey now. I'm just saying. So heads up. And by the way, shout out to Jacob also. Again, I have to say, I spent the entire day with JoJo, by the way, hanging out, trash talking, bikes all day, and eating and wrenching and stuff. He's super cool guy. He plugged me with JoJo. So really dope connect, man. It's just, I love this stupid motorcycle thing, man. It's just wild.
Did Jacob tell you? Hey, congratulations to Jacob and Jordan. He's engaged now, so
So
congratulations to Jacob. Shout out to you and Jordan. Congratulations.
Jordan's a dope chick as well, man. Really cool chick.
Really good. Yeah, she was the master plan behind this, trying to sneak Jacob up to, we ain't gonna talk about that MotoGP stuff, but yeah, she's the master plan behind everything. I knew she was down for the cause, and she was helping us out. So shout out to Jordan,
cool, man. I'm telling you, the entire group of people over there is really dope, man. I'm so excited this week. By the way, I've been texting. I'm like, yo, a few more days until I'm out there. A few more days. I'm like, yo. He's like, what's up? I'm like, nothing. I'm just letting you know, a few more days, I'll be out there. And you know what's the funny thing is, since we were talking about safety, one of the things that's very cool that I do personally, any bike that I buy, and I know some people might be like, why would you do that kind of thing? Any bike that I buy, I do not ride them off the dealership floor. I make sure they include like a deal for me where they deliver my bike to my home. I do not ride any bikes. I know they'd be like, well, you have bigger bikes at home. You already know how to ride. You could ride any bike. And that's not the case at all. It's really about principle to me. I want to make sure I'm comfortable. I understand the bike. And every single bike is different. Every behavior is different. Even, for example, when I was out there in Texas and I was on the Hyper RVE, I have my own Hyper. I rode your bike extra careful. Like, as if I've never ridden a Hyper before. And I have my own. But, the weird thing is it's just the way it is. Every bike is different. Like, your Hyper rode very different from mine. I was telling Jacob, he was like, well, you need to do this so he doesn't ride like shit. That was his breakdown. He was like, well, you can't have the exhaust on there. You have the air filter. By the way, motivation, you guys got to get your stuff from there. Link are in the description. So if you're tuned in, you're watching, you want to support the channel, you want to support motivation. Again, it's a small business here in the U.S., guys. Very important. By the way, let me just kind of pull this up just so you guys are aware. It's very important to me that you guys come through and you watch the stream, you watch the videos that we produce. You make sure you go to motivationusa.com, guys. The links are in the description. All right, anything that you need. We boast quite a bit about Jacob being part of the team and some of the stuff that they do have there, guys. Not only when they sell these products to you, you have an opportunity to talk with someone, and it's not that you're just emailing random stuff to people. You can partner with a team member there, and they'll be able to kind of guide you, give you a general idea what to look for, best styling. Even, for example, the quick sprocket change that I just did recently, guys. I mean, Jacob was instrumental in kind of helping me put that together. And again, these things are really, really dope. It's not just some random guy on the internet telling you go buy stuff. You have actual people that love motorcycle riding, track day street riding, and it's just not no nonsense, man. So, I am honored to be part of Motivation USA as much as possible, guys. And it's one of those things I'm extremely grateful for, and I'm not just saying it, and it's definitely huge deal for me just to be able to be in their circle, in my personal opinion. So, so definitely show love, man. Whether you're buying something for yourself, you're buying something for friends and family or whatever as a gift, you can use the link. That helps support a small business, helps support the channel, and we continue getting guests on. That's very interesting. So, yeah, man, really dope. Yeah, I had to throw that in there. I always make sure we kind of market some of the amazing people that work there, man. Another thing that was really dope too that we did when we were out in Texas, dude. Oh, the other thing too, man, it was so dope. There's so many like highlight moments that I could kind of talk about from last year. It was wild, man. Hearing the national anthem with like everybody, I've seen like all walks of life. Dude, I swear to God, tears came down my eyes, man. It was so beautiful. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, man. Everyone just standing there just for the national anthem for before the race, man, with the helicopters flying ahead. It was the coolest thing ever, and I'm like, God damn, this is just like a wave of emotion just like crashing, and I'm just like fighting against the feeling. It was hard, man. It hits me hard, man, but it was amazing, man. All of it is just crazy. I will never forget this entire time in my life, man. Awesome. And anybody that's out there, you should definitely experience something like this. It's just I could tell you as much as possible for my personal experience, and I have tons of videos and stuff, footage that I have. I still haven't gone through and kind of filtered through, but it's just something you have to experience for yourself to kind of understand where I'm coming from, at least from my perspective. But yeah, anyway, that was my little take on it, man. But like I said, I don't ride any bikes home. I have them delivered to my home, and then I go over the manual, kind of understand it. I ride it around, maybe in a radius of maybe 20 miles, get a feel for the bike, and then I start going on longer trips and stuff like that. Because I find that you make mistakes early on because you're still getting acclimated with the bike, getting a feel for it. So this is why I don't do it personally. And I remember being at the dealership recently because I bought a new bike. And dude was like, "Oh man, yeah, Street Fighter, it's like 200 horsepower. You should be able to ride any bike you want or whatever." I'm like, "That's not the case. That's not what I'm saying here at all. I just want to make sure that what I'm getting on, I completely understand and respect the bike. It could be a 50cc bike. I'm still gonna treat it as if I'd never ridden before. It's just my nature, because you never know." Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, man, so many chats coming on there, man. Really, really dope. By the way, big congratulations to Jacob, man, for getting engaged, man. Both him and his fiance, really, really dope people, man. They were super welcoming to me too while I was out there in Texas. So really, really dope. So anything you want to kind of wrap up before we call it a night, Mike? Because I know I'm holding you quite a bit, and it is Easter Sunday, sir.
Man, you know what? Again, I just tell people, if y'all got the Roku channel, check that out, the Cupcake Guys. If you want to follow me on social media, it's Mike Griff 33. And yeah, you're in Austin area. If you come to MotoGP, go to the motivation party on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And again, look forward to seeing you again and hanging out and meeting the wife again. So
yeah, man.
Can't wait for you to come. Safe travels.
Come on, I'm excited. I can't wait to get the hell out of New York. It's a little chilly up there. It's going to be nice and warm. Man, I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be dope.
Yes.
Guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys taking your Sunday. I know it's Easter Sunday. By the way, please make sure you go and give Mike a follow. He has enough clout already. That's why I didn't even think about shouting him out. But his link is in the description as well. His link is on the screen. Go give him a follow. Really dope guy. Trust me. It's totally worth it, man. If we're talking about celebrity status wise, he's definitely a celebrity, but he doesn't act like one. He's just like everybody else, man. Really cool guy, makes you feel at home. So give him a follow and see his beautiful family, his beautiful motorcycles, and everything else. This guy's, I can't speak enough good things about him, man. So appreciate you being here tonight, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys hopefully next Sunday. I do have a stream. If not, I'll probably do a live stream at GP like how I did last year and kind of walked around. I might do something like that. Who knows? And hopefully I'll bump into some more interesting people that we can bring on, by the way. As long as you guys are watching, you're hitting the thumbs up, you're commenting, we'll keep bringing on dope people. I'll catch you guys next Sunday. Peace. Dude, Mike, thank you so much, man. That was awesome, man.